Okay, so we are really coming down to the wire on this one. It's like 6 p.m. I'm supposed to have these videos up. I mean, I haven't promised any official time to you, but I told myself we aim for about noon Spanish time. So coming down to the wire, the sun is almost set, which is going to be a problem for filming a video. So that little problem is beneficial to you. Why, you might ask? Because there's a topic for a video that is so great. I was building it up. I wanted to release it later. I don't know. I didn't feel like I was ready to share this gem just quite yet. But it's the only thing I can think of getting into because it's a topic that I'm so passionate about that it is so top of mind that I'm ready to get it out there right now because otherwise I'm a little brain dead today. Now I am surviving the ENFP reboot here. I am still going. You might have noticed a new video published every single day since the 1st of April. But today I got sidetracked. I played beach volleyball for a few hours and then I started researching visas for Spain and this kind of stuff. And next thing I know, time had started to run out. But it is not gone. And that brings us to the topic of today's video, how to be a rambly YouTuber who doesn't ever get to the point in time. No, the point of today's video, the topic of today's video is the James Bond list. And the James Bond list is an invention of mine, and it is the first thing that I ever spoke about. My first time public speaking, except for like in elementary school where you talk about dinosaurs, was about the James Bond list. What is the James Bond list, you might ask? Well, kind of ties in with my assets approach. For those of you who've been in the free freelancer program, my business training, you know that I talk a lot about assets and how if you want to build a business that works for an ENFP, someone who maybe changes direction a lot and bounces around and doesn't always stick to the same thing and maybe goes through ups and down phases of energy. So for instance, you might have a month where you publish a video every single day. And then you might have a month where you don't publish any video. How do you build a business like that? Well, it's the asset approach. It's focusing on things that you can build once and that will keep being valuable for your business for many years to come. The James Bond list is a little bit like that, but in terms of how do you plan your personal life? How do you set your life up? And this is something I came up with, I think, 14, 15 years ago. When I started to think about what are the things I want to do. I had, hey, I want to learn this language. I want to learn how to ride a motorbike. I want to learn martial arts. I came up with a bunch of languages that I still haven't learned, but my Spanish isn't so bad now. And learn tango, all these kinds of things. Because it basically was like, what can James Bond do? That's like the inspiration for the name, right? James Bond, he's running along. He's not like, I can't ride this motorcycle. I've never learned how. He knows how to ride a motorcycle, drive a boat, fly a plane, dance, tango, all these things. So I came up with this list, and it was basically personal assets. I mean, this isn't how I thought about it at the time, but when I look back, it was like, how can I spend my time in a way that will make me a better person? And this is something I was thinking about recently because there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. With things like AI, ChatGPT, people are talking about, what jobs will still be around, what is still going to be valuable. And I sat back and I thought, the best thing I can do is the same thing I was doing with the James Bond list. It's the best thing we can all do, really, which is focus on developing ourselves. And instead of spending 2 hours reading random junk, entertaining yourself, whatever it is, what if you invested that time in developing yourself in different areas? It could be developing your communication abilities, your sales abilities, your knowledge, your mathematical skills, your visual abilities, whatever. Developing yourself in ways like that. Could be learning new skills, like dance or sports or languages. But what can you do that is going to help you develop? And you might say, how is learning a sport going to help me in the future, Well, when you learn sports, you learn a lot more than just a sport. You learn how to deal with adversity. You learn teamwork. You learn how to deal with ups and downs, with frustrations. When you're learning something, when you're learning anything, you get better at everything. Oh, that's quotable right there. Throw it on the Instagram. When you're developing, right, in all these different ways. When you're not developing is when you're passively scrolling Instagram, when you're reading, any number of whatever junk stuff, when you're just watching Netflix shows, that stuff is leaving you the same or worse than it found you. So the James Bond list is sitting back and thinking, who do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be 10, 20 years from now? And then what are all the things that person would know how to do or will have done? It's not a bucket list, though. It's a James Bond list. So the bucket list focuses on things that you want to do before you die. The James Bond list is like what you want to become, what you want to learn, what you want to develop. And make that list and think that through. Who do I want to be? Who do I want to become? And it can have cool stuff. It can be like, I want to learn how to fly a plane. I want to learn how to ride a motorbike. I want to, whatever else people want to learn how to do. As I said, I came up with it when I was like a 23-year-old guy, okay? It had some cool stuff on it. It was a James Bond list after all. But then you have a list, and when you're bored, not that ENFPs are ever bored, but hypothetically, if you're like, hey, how do I fill my time, right? You can say, well, maybe I can take some classes. Maybe I can learn this. Maybe I can learn that, etc. And then a year or two goes by and you've learned all these things. You've developed yourself a lot. And I have to admit, I've been ignoring the James Bond list for a long time. I'm actually going to see if I can dig up my old list. I'm sure I have it somewhere. But when I did it, I took tango lessons. I took Krav Maga. I got a motorcycle license. I think I even flew a plane. I did fly a plane once, but it was like a baby flight. It wasn't like really fully learning how to fly. I went skydiving. I did a lot of cool stuff. And it really worked. It gave me like some guidance on how to spend my time and how to develop myself and that. So that's it. That is the James Bond list. In the comments below, I would love to know, if you were to make a James Bond list, what are a few things that would be on your list? What are some things you'd love to develop? Maybe dance, a language, a skill, a sport, something. Throw that down there in the comments. And I'm going to go. I'm proud of myself. This is, I think, day 12, day 13. Whatever day it says on the video is the day it is. And I'm going to get back to my pattern of filming these videos early in the day. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being here for the ENFP reboot. And enjoy the James Bond list. Honestly, this thing is something that changed. At some point, I'll make another video about it. Something maybe in some more detail or whatever. But it's something that really changed my life when I came up with it and started doing it. And I think it's such a positive way to be. Because instead of taking all that time that gets wasted on nothing, you translate it into building yourself. You kind of think of yourself as like an RPG character or something. Where you're building yourself up. You're getting more, hit points, skill points, talent points, whatever it is in the RPGs. And so at the end of each year, you can look at yourself and, regardless of your job or financial status and that, and of course you want that stuff to all develop as well, but you can be like, me as a person, I have all these assets that cannot be taken away. So let me know what's not going to be on your list in the comments, and see you tomorrow.